heart and say you love me again. Undo this hurt that you caused when you walked through the door and out of my life. Undo these tears I've cried so many nights. Sorry.
What's shaking, everybody? Dust your muffins and moisten your buns. We're live.
We're talking about Ahsoka, the final episode of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
You sad to see it end?
I am sad to see it end. Do I feel like this was a finale is going to be the big question.
See, I'm a fan of like a double episode finale, a long episode for a finale.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we got.
That's a lot of pink deuces.
It's
Thanks for joining us, Kira. Glad to have you.
I'm not sure how to take that. As far as deuces go, it's very pleasant.
Yeah.
You know,
It could be ice
it's like
creams.
you ate a bunch of sparkles.
Maybe it's ice creams.
It's like you ate a bunch of sparkles.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna know what we're talking about. So yeah. It was a good episode.
But was it a good final episode?
No.
No, like let's just do the banana rating right now.
Let's do it.
All right.
No. Well, we can wait.
Okay.
So yeah. Episode kicks off. Thrawn and Morgan is at the opening of this episode. And they're kind of talking about, the Jedi that are going to be on their way. Got to send some TIE fighters. Just 2.
I see that.
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite points in the show, though, is right at the beginning when Morgan gets her level up. And they're going to give her the Gift of Shadows and Mother Talzin's sword. If you're unfamiliar with Mother Talzin...
I'm mostly unfamiliar with Mother Talzin, other than doing a little bit of research.
Okay.
But I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm going to hand that over to you, because as well as I could explain it.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what your thoughts on that are.
I'm going to just brief explain it. It doesn't have to be real long. Mother Talzin was the big leader of the Night Sisters in Clone Wars and such. And I believe you get to see her a little bit later. But her sword, I think she has a duel with like Mace Windu with it at one point and stuff. But she survives the attack on Dathomir at one point, but is subsequently killed quite.
Yeah, she gone.
Yeah, she gone.
She gone now.
But are any of the Night Sisters really ever gone?
Yeah, it doesn't.
They can
sound
certainly
like...
kind of Force Ghost their way to wherever they need to.
Force Ghost.
Got some Force Ghost specials.
Yeah. Pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, so Morgan levels up.
Yeah. She's got the power.
She's got the power. All right. Yeah, pretty cool. I want to call them the sisters because that's what I always call them.
Yeah.
But the mothers of
the Great Mother.
Dothraki or whatever.
Yeah.
So
they're the Great Mothers.
Oh, sorry, was that like Game of Thrones?
of the Night Sisters. They're like the leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she lays her hands on her, does some witchcraft, burns her face a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Now she resembles them a little bit more and stuff like. Through this episode, you really get the sense that the mothers have their own motive.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. They don't really, like, they're following Thrawn under the circumstance that they can use him to get, I think, repopulate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or bring the sisterhood back.
Yeah. Nice little touch when Thrawn says, for the Empire.
Yeah.
And under her breath, she goes...
Morgan goes, yeah.
You can say it, because I'll say just about anything but the right thing.
For Dathomir.
Yeah. Dathomir. Okay. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was, I think, a little bit later, but still again,
before she's sent away.
I think Morgan was probably one of my favorite parts of this whole episode.
Like
actually.
MVP of this
Yeah,
episode.
MVP for sure. Because she's just a supreme badass with that sword too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that
was
sword's
not
pretty
upset.
cool. It's nice to see, as cool as lightsabers are, it's nice to see other weapons that are cool.
Yeah.
Type deal. That's why like the dark saber was kind of like so cool because it wasn't the same.
And you get those vibra blades and those energy weapons,
Yeah,
which are neat.
it's just nice to see a weapon that's badass and cool, but not a saber.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's pretty much the opening setup for this episode, which was a great opening setup. Like I was just excited for the rest of it.
And it wasn't a bad episode by any means.
No, it was good.
Is
that what I'm looking for then?
Yeah. Was it great?
What's your favorite saber color, Dan?
My favorite saber color, like, do you want to go kind of exotic, like Windu's kind of, or?
Well, let's just swing for the fences here.
If I'm being honest with you, and it's not just because of Ahsoka, I've always been drawn to the white saber.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Like it's a cool looking saber.
That's fair. They're pretty dope. I'm gonna go with that purple. I gotta go with that purple.
I always felt like the yellow ones that the was it the guards or whatever?
Yeah.
That they had, those are cool.
The
looking.
temple guards are pretty
temple
cool.
Guards.
But yeah, I don't know. It could be that I'm going with the purple because it's so iconic to Mace Windu's character, and I'm a big fan.
And it's a cool color, like the black light
Yeah.
glow type deal.
Yeah.
Like it's just a cool color.
And
Right.
producer says red. That doesn't surprise us at all.
Red, because she's downright evil.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Is there a pink one?
Is there a pink one? I'm not sure if there's a pink one.
I've not seen a pink one, but I would imagine that if there was a pink one, it would be just almost like twisting to the dark
Well,
side.
I mean, because they've introduced kind of like an orangey color one.
Yes. Well, and they did with Cal Kestis
Cal,
too.
yeah.
So
I'm not gonna put it past there being like a yellow one, you know.
could be a lot of different things.
I know. Sorry, a pink
A
one.
pink one.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Right. All it takes is the right actor to demand it.
Yeah.
So Thrawn, he's very close to getting his way.
Yeah.
And making his way off the planet.
Well, the
and
cargo's
through
loaded
the
and everything
universe.
too, right?
Yep.
So, and I'm really curious as to what this cargo is. Something that he just feels he needs to take off of this planet on his way out. It's
Well,
interesting.
here's the thing: is that like, could it be just fallen troopers?
Potentially.
Like he needs an army,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean he's got a decent army as it is, but
Yeah,
like-
it definitely could be, right? That's
or-
fair.
you know, or could it be some more of the race, the mother's race or whatever?
It could be. I mean,
I
we've
just
seen
don't see him.
we've seen them raise like the Night Sisters when they were fighting against Grievous when he came to just wipe them out.
and Count Dooku, right?
And Dooku, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've seen them raise their own to fight for them or
Yeah.
continue
I
fighting
just
for
don't
them.
see Thrawn putting that much effort into securing the Night Sisters and the Night Mothers like fate,
Yeah.
you know, because he's using them as much as they're using.
Oh,
him.
for sure. For sure.
Right. He's a clever guy. He's in it for himself.
And he knows that they're in it for themselves too, I'm sure. They have their own plans. Yeah. So we swing over to our protagonists.
Who's that?
Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra, and they're cruising along at a relatively slow pace considering their situation.
Just hovering above those campers,
Yeah, the naughty
campers.
campers. Let's call them Nodi.
Oh yeah, well, the Nodi campers.
I don't know how to pronounce it, so
All right.
but yeah, in their little caravan and kind of hovering above and protecting them. If they're planning on leaving anyway, like these guys are going to be unprotected, and you would think that they would have some haste.
Just get out of there.
Yeah, it's time to go.
If anything,
You're putting them in more
Yeah.
danger, for sure.
You're-
It's not to read your mind and take your words, but
you are a Jedi. So,
And yeah, I would be more of a Jedi if I had my sabers, but I do not.
yeah, we got some sabers coming. There will be a battle. Yes. Yeah, so they're there and they're hovering the ship over them as to kind of protect them, right? Um, and those fighters are coming in.
Yeah, hot.
They're coming in hot.
Excuse me.
You had to deep voice it there. Pardon me.
Yeah, I did.
Um, yeah, and they come in, and the first thing they do is they start firing at the ground, and a bunch of those campers get hit anyway.
Yeah, so I didn't really see the point in that. But prior to the fighters actually making it, great scene again. There's some great scenes. I don't know what was missing for me in this episode because I know there was some cool scenes that I really enjoyed, like Ezra rebuilding a lightsaber and the conversation with Hu Yang.
Yeah, which I don't know if Hu Young has just a kyber crystal lying around, like a box of kyber crystals.
I would imagine he's got some, and Ahsoka definitely had more than one lightsaber hanging on the wall too, in the training room.
Yeah,
and
but I
stuff,
thought the point is that you find your kyber crystal and it attunes to you,
yeah, it calls to you,
right?
but that's
So
like
is this lightsaber as powerful as it could be?
I feel like yes, but you know, like they'll lose lightsabers and such throughout
I guess so. Like
their
Ahsoka
Jedi journey. Yeah, she definitely has lost several at
in this
points.
episode, she loses one.
Yeah, um, and you know she didn't have pure white lightsabers in the first place.
Yeah, but oh yeah, because then she takes the red ones and purifies them.
That's my understanding of the white, but I could be wrong. You never know.
Anyway, yeah, it is a cool scene. There's some cool dialogue that goes
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah, and it's all about that emitter. So it had like Harry Potter vibes for me because he had one of this type of emitter left,
Oh,
and
okay.
the
So
other
it's,
one,
it's sister.
yeah,
You know,
went to
it's cool because you get to
Caleb
find
Dune.
out. You get to find out that Hu Young taught his master,
That's what I just said. Caleb Dune.
Caleb Doom. Caleb?
Dune. Caleb.
Caleb
You can call
Doom.
him Kanan if you want. though.
Because he goes by both. He did at one point.
Well, he became Kanan Jarrus to
Okay.
hide after Order
But yeah,
66.
so he taught him when he was young.
Yeah.
Which is a big surprise to Ezra.
And the phoenix that gave a feather for his lightsaber also gave one other feather, only
Yes,
one.
only one other feather.
And now it's Ezra's. Yeah. Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviosa.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah, I enjoyed that scene. I thought it was a nice touching kind of moment.
And there's a little bit of background on Sabine's training too.
Yeah.
Right, and it gives a little bit of light on what Ahsoka was thinking when she discontinued the training.
Right.
Right. And
Which
the
was
reasons
fair
why.
when it's laid out.
So
really.
essentially, she's scared that Sabine is going to be a danger when fully trained. Right.
Or would have been. Obviously, seems to have gotten over that piece.
Her
now.
path has changed.
That's right. And you never know what's gonna happen.
I do.
Do you?
I always do.
Oh.
So.
Magic.
Yeah, cool scene.
So yeah, Ty's attack. They hold the ship up after it gets hit. And
Hu
then
Young does a kamikaze.
that was Sabine does the kamikaze.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because she kind of switches some power around so that she's gonna get one burst. And probably one of my favorite lines because of an inside story, but still funny to me. It doesn't have to be funny to you. This show's
It
for
would
me.
be
This
helpful
show's for
actually
me.
if it were funny to everyone.
But she fires basically the entire ship, takes out the two TIE fighters, and as they're walking back up the hill, she goes, "Got him." And
Okay, that's funny to me too.
Yeah.
It is an inside joke, but it is funny. Maybe one day we'll tell
share the
that
story.
quick story. But what I like about this scene is Ezra and Ahsoka are holding the ship up using the Force and preventing it from crashing down on
Nodi.
the Nodi. And you almost get a sense that Ahsoka kind of gave it a little bit of a push
She's gonna throw it.
to,
Softball toss. And
yeah. So
I
she was
liked
on board.
yeah.
You know, it
She
was
knew it
the
was
right
up.
thing to do.
Save the naughty.
Yeah,
Nodi. Naughty.
saves the naughties. But it is going to take a bit longer. Time is not on their side.
Although they don't seem to be in any rush, so
No.
it's fine.
They have to ride some
Howlers.
howlers.
Mm-hmm. Again, another really solid scene is the ride up. And when Thrawn says, rain fire on them.
Oh yeah.
Super cool
And
scene.
they're dodging all the shit.
Well, lasers.
That's what I said.
Just if it was raining poops on them, that would be bad too.
They
Not as deadly.
They just flushed.
Yeah. Flush the system. Get ready to take off. We did fail to mention the fact that the Eye of Sion is now down and attaching itself to the Chimera.
Yeah, and it just kind of looks like a regular ship with a regular old
Big ring.
yeah, except just at a
Yeah.
much larger scale.
Because that was what the Jedis would use during the Clone Wars a lot. You got to see them a whole bunch of times. The hyperspace rings.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. I enjoyed it.
Just an exterior hyper.
I love the
drive.
Chimera. It's just like a wicked looking ship.
Yeah, it is cool.
The ride into the door. I don't know how much Sabine was helping at that point.
Yeah, I feel like they had to make it look like she was part of it to keep you guessing, right? Like if they had just used her,
yeah, she just opens.
It's
up
just
the
too
door.
much.
Yeah,
right. But because they kind of include her into it, you're like, I don't know.
Is she really helping?
I do not know. Right? They slide in there at the last moment possible.
My real question is Sabine me at the grocery store in that moment?
Just
where
pretending.
I feel like I'm using the Force to open the automatic doors.
Who's to say you're not using the Force?
That's
Is what
fair.
I want to know.
That's fair.
How dare people
I agree with you.
assume it's opening via automatic door?
Maybe they have to open it manually.
Yeah.
Suckers. Anyway,
Nerds.
they're confronted by night troopers. And I loved this piece of this battle.
There's a few things I really enjoyed here.
The fact that Ahsoka tells Sabine to go to blasters and stuff because she's more accurate and
She
more
gets a
lethal.
couple saves off.
Yeah.
There's definitely improvement. But her strong point is the blasters, right? And she kind of, through these scenes, kind of uses both here and there, right? Something I really enjoy is when one character pulls character towards another character and then they use their lightsaber against them.
And that was like the last move in that particular battle.
And Ahsoka having the dual wielding, it's just a perfect move.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that's the first time that was used here. And I think one of the earlier episodes, Sabine uses her tether.
Oh yeah,
and does the same thing.
You're right.
I just think that's such a
You're
cool move, and really shows how synced up they are too.
Yeah. Well, at this point, it's like 3 Jedi, or at least 2
Two and a
Jedi
half.
and a Padawan are rolling in and fighting, and it feels cool. Like it feels like a cool piece just having those Jedi rolling.
So these particular troopers are done now, though.
Or are they?
They would. I'd be surprised if they were able to fight on.
I would agree.
Unless there was some sort of magic
I think
that could be used.
Thrawn was having a short conversation with the Night Sisters and told them that they had to do something. And that something is magic.
Yeah. So the thing I like about this is that they literally had them volunteer.
Yeah.
I don't know if this magic works properly without a willing participant.
That's fair, because when Morgan is receiving the gift of shadow and stuff like that too, they kind of, talk about that, like, you give up
Yeah.
everything for this.
And actually, that whole speech there was like word for word from like the animated series. So that's pretty cool. I like when they take things
Cool thing.
right from like right from other
I agree.
sources. So yeah, some oogie boogie.
Oogie boogie.
All right, and then all of a sudden, in the background, you hear. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing there.
That's what you're seeing?
Actually, there's a TikTok that actually plays that.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I'll show it to you
That's
later.
nice. You should
I don't
post it.
care what anybody says. These are zombie troopers.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll give that to you.
They're okay. So
I guess.
they start
Kinda.
to get up. They're moving in a way that a zombie would. Okay?
Yeah, except they're grabbing blasters and stuff. So.
Some of them aren't though.
Well, no.
Some of them are just grabbing like a zombie would.
zombie.
Okay. They're groaning
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. All right. These
Okay.
are
All right.
zombie troopers.
All right.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, when you got a bunch of zombie troopers, what do you got to do? You got to fight your way through them,
Well, they were already ahead of them, so
right?
they're fighting away from them. They're running.
Wouldn't you?
I feel like I would. I'm scared already. I'm scared right now.
Those are some quick zombie troopers, though.
They are. They're still moving at like kind of a regular, reasonable pace, especially once they have their legs under them. It seemed like.
Yeah. It's actually fun because before they were zombies, as they were coming down the stairs, I don't know if you noticed, but one of them tripped
No.
and fell down the stairs a little bit.
No, I didn't see it.
You know, in which one was it where where one of them hit their head on the door?
Oh, that's right too. That might have been the first
one of the actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like I don't know if it was. I can't imagine it was on purpose, but well, yeah, one of them lost their footing and kind of fell down the stairs a little bit.
That's funny.
You have to rewatch it.
I'm gonna have
show
to.
that and see that.
But yeah.
Yes. So they're on their way through the hallways. They're doing their best to use their lightsabers to cut the doors.
And this is kind of when Thrawn is talking to Morgan and saying, we need more time. So she's gonna sacrifice herself for that, and
they kind of do the whole nod thing where they understand each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's when for the Empire, for Dathomir.
Dothraki.
No.
Sorry, I get my media mixed up.
You get a lot more than that mixed up, but it's fine.
I'm okay.
Then we finally get a piece where Morgan and Ahsoka are lined up against each other, and I couldn't wait for this rematch from before, from the Mandalorian at the end of what was it, season 2,
where she's using that the staff made out of
Beskar. Yeah. I couldn't wait for this rematch, and it didn't disappoint.
Well, now you've got a powered up Morgan.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka's at her best right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Her confidence is back. Her belief is back. Like she's at the top of her game too. The way that Morgan fights is phenomenal. Like, I love everything about her fighting style. I don't know where they picked it up. It is aggressive, and it looks cool. Like, it's really smooth lines when she's moving. It's just cool. It's cool.
Her demise was actually satisfying as well, though.
Yes, the double spin slash.
Well, because like first off, we have to recognize that Morgan manages to. Okay, so Morgan lets Ezra and Sabine by. she's concerned about Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Right. She manages to destroy one of Ahsoka's sabers.
Yes.
Right, which brings her down to a traditional one saber.
Is that when they're fighting on the
two-handed source
roof?
Yeah, I think this is. They're not fighting on the roof. They're fighting on that platform.
They were, and then they end up on the roof, and I think that's when Ahsoka loses a saber.
Okay.
I think.
Because they're that platform where they're loading.
Yeah.
The docks and stuff like that, right? Yeah. That's where they end up fighting.
Yeah.
I think that's where she loses her. Is it a roof?
Well, it's the top of the building, and there's
like
nothing below it.
Rock formation.
Is that not the roof? That's the roof.
It's like a rock formation.
Well, it's a roof.
The roof?
People are in there.
Okay, fine.
It's a domicile. It's a roof.
Fine. You win.
Fine. Good.
All right. There's a pretty epic battle.
Yes. During the initial pieces of that Morgan Ahsoka fight too, like Ezra and Sabine run into those what some people are calling back to like Legends, the Death Troopers. And since they're Night Troopers, I'm calling them Death Knight Troopers.
So these Death Troopers.
Death Knight Troopers.
Okay. One of their masks gets a piece breaks off, and there's definitely a zombie-esque face in there. Okay. Is this what they look like on a normal basis under there?
All of them?
Like these Death Troopers?
Yeah, so that's the Legends thing. That's what the Death Troopers would have looked like. They would have been kind of zombified.
Okay.
So
zombie troopers have been around.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a new thing.
No.
Everybody's making a big deal out of zombie.
I don't know
troopers.
why people are making a big deal out of it. We've seen zombie Night Sisters before. It's not that far fetched to have zombie troopers.
Like resurrection is not an uncommon thing in that group.
Ahsoka just died in this show and came back.
Did she?
Kinda.
I don't know that she died.
She was in the world between worlds.
Ezra was in the world between worlds.
He kind of died, I guess.
I think your logic is flawed.
Whatever.
All right.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, they're fighting through there, and this is where we finally see Sabine actually use the Force, and it's exciting.
Yeah, because you're not sure. You're like, oh, is she gonna do it?
Well,
I mean, you kind of knew that she.
You kind of knew because of the situation she was in.
Yeah,
she's pinned up against a pillar. Okay, I said that fairly delicately. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's reaching for it, and you see it wiggle a little bit, which is give me a break. All right, be an adult.
Sorry, go on.
All right. You see her light stick wiggle.
Yeah.
And then boom. And then she does the Kylo Ren and
yes. That was a cool move. I liked it.
Through the head.
And then we get to see a decapitation of the other one by Ezra. Proving
decapitation bonus.
Proving that they're zombies and their heads had to be wounded to stop moving.
Yeah, because they're all out of, zombie killing bullets.
That's right. Through the head.
Back over to Ahsoka.
Yeah. Going hard.
Where they're going hard. And you're right. Morgan's style of fighting is cool. Almost puts her down.
Yeah.
Okay. Zombie troopers starting to gather around. And
at one point they just kind of are awkwardly like standing in a circle around watching the fight.
Well, I think that's because she commands that, right? And then the line, "You're gonna die here alone."
And this is
said
after we get to see the big force jump and push the double move, double tap. It's so good.
The double tap.
The double tap.
A little bit of Zombieland.
Yeah, so we get to see two cool force powers in unison and some throwbacks.
Okay, so the point is that the Chimera is leaving.
Yes.
there's quite a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
Ezra's like, we can't make that.
Right.
And then Sabine says, yes, we can. You run and I'll push you. And Ezra's like, you just figured your powers out.
Yeah. You literally just moved a lightsaber finally, and you wanna give me a push.
My life is in your hands now.
Yeah.
So he is skeptical.
Yeah.
But she pushes him just enough so that he can grapple the edge of the platform. And then you've got the classic troopers going, where are they?
And then they get wrecked.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that
Ezra doing his thing.
Like just full throwback to Rebels, and he's gonna obviously wear
Yeah,
a trooper suit.
you know he's gonna do
I was
it.
like, yes.
All right. So at that point, you're meant to think that Sabine has also.
Well, she starts running towards the Chimera even when she looks back at Ahsoka in that fight and starts giving her back.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like that she was going to go for the jump.
Yeah, so skip back to Ahsoka kind of taken down and the line being said, you're all on your own. You're going to die alone. And then Sabine come in, not alone.
She's not alone.
And then...
See, that's how you do a power moment with the line, she's not alone.
Yeah.
Not like they did in Avengers. When it was not necessary. This was unnecessary.
No, this was fine. This was suitable. It felt right.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's that connection between Padawan and Master, and they do well.
And Morgan Elspeth like kill Scream.
Yeah.
Cool. It was cool.
Make my monsters grow.
It was good. She has more of that voice since she got the shadow power too. So that's nice.
So Sabine's job is essentially to lessen the threat from the troopers. Well, I almost call her Anakin for some reason.
It's fair.
Starts with an A. Ahsoka.
She is using that single lightsaber, like more aggressive technique and stuff too. So,
but
it's fair.
When she takes the sword from Morgan and does that,
it was such a cool move.
Spin with the double slash.
Yeah. And now she has the. Does she have the blade of Taliesin?
Because by the time we're finished this, that was my thought.
Yeah.
Does she have that, or does she like? It doesn't show her doing anything with it.
No.
It would be pretty cool.
It would be interesting.
But at the same time,
that's dark magic.
It's a dark magic imbued weapon, which I don't know that she would feel right using.
Maybe she just hangs it up in the old trophy case.
Yeah.
But
I hope at the very least.
Yeah, it's just like kind of chilling.
Well, because at the very least, would you not want to keep an eye on it?
I would think so.
You know, make sure it doesn't fall into the hands of someone else on this.
Although they did just pull it out of nowhere. So
maybe it returns to nowhere. Maybe it just dissipates.
And that's something that the Night Sisters have been known to do too, is kind of like pull those
weapons out because when she dies, when Morgan dies, the mothers sense it.
Yes.
And automatically she gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Morgan is dead.
No, I believe they actually say she gone.
That sounds like something they'd say.
Yeah.
Canon. Yeah, another one of the Night Sisters that tends to like, you know, do those same kinds of tricks is the one that hangs out with Cal Kestis in one of the games. So it's kind of what they're known for.
I need to play those games.
They're dope.
Have you played the new one?
I just started playing it a bit, but I haven't finished.
Okay. I want to play the first one first, obviously, but not the point of this.
No, I just want to catch up because I feel like it's kind of canon. So
yeah, it's more and more becoming canon.
Yeah, well, and they pulled so much stuff from Legends for this season of the show too. Like really,
they pulled like from so many things that it's actually quite amazing.
Yeah,
that they pulled from so many sources, the Clone Wars especially, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Thrawn orders a bombardment. which the Night Sisters did not seem really impressed
thrilled
about.
about. Um, it's essentially
Or the Night Mothers, sorry.
the night you did it.
I did it.
It's their it's been their home.
Yeah. When he resurrected them from that space too, like that's
Mhm.
where they were.
Like there's some sort of like significance to that place that
Yeah.
they're not real pleased with that.
No.
But they play along because it's
Well, they're heading to Dathomir.
what do they need that place for?
Yeah.
So moving on, we've now let's move on. I don't.
Sabine and Ahsoka jump off the building. Off the roof.
Oh yeah, they
They're
do a Marty McFly,
And they jump. Marty. Yes.
right? Yeah, ship comes up. They're still firing at it and stuff, but they make their way off, and now they've got to make the chase. Try to get to that ship before it goes into hyperspace.
You kind of think that they're, gonna make it.
They're really pushing that ship.
Yeah.
All right, Hu Young is doing
The power.
his darndest to get that thing to go faster. They're just about ready to make it, and Thrawn puts the thing into overdrive.
Into hyperspace?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does have an interesting conversation with Ahsoka and tries to kind of sow those seeds
I
of
liked that.
doubt and stuff because he's still a master tactician, right? Like that's his plan is to sow those seeds and then take off. So
He really plays the whole you're gonna end up like your master thing.
yeah.
Calling her a Ronin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Ronin belongs on this planet.
That's right.
I love the use of that word here. He's a wordsmith,
He is.
I would say.
It's great.
Before blasting off, and then because it's such
Again. Sorry. You said blasting off.
blasting off again. A little bit of Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Meow. The gravity that this thing causes when it goes into hyperspace.
Well, yeah, because it's going really, really fast.
Yeah, and it's such a large
Vessel?
like vessel. Ooh. That it does that thing.
Ron. Not the only wordsmith around here.
They just like when it arrived and kind of shifted all the ships in the area type deal.
Yeah.
Kind of puts it out of its own orbit. Right? So Ezra's on the ship.
Yeah.
Getting his new suit on.
Yeah.
All right. Are they aware he's there? I got my feelings that they don't.
I don't think they do.
Okay.
I feel like they do not.
So do we want to talk about his little part first, and then we can get on to the rest of them real quick?
Yeah, because we'll go with him, then Shin, then Galen.
The rest of his story is kind of quick.
Yeah, he goes back, he gets back, obviously he gets away from the ship, steals a shuttle, ends up hanging back with Hera and Chop. And Chop's the only one who seems to recognize him right away, which is
so
cool.
And like you knew and you loved it. He walks out in that busted up armor.
Yeah.
This when they reunite, it still seemed more legit, even though they didn't run up and hug each other or anything like that. It still seemed more legit than when Sabine and him met back up.
Yeah.
Like there was some disbelief and then the happiness and stuff like that. My boy Chopper.
Chop was excited right away. He knew what was up. And then just wheels up. He's like, hey.
Like a little puppy.
Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much it for his story.
Which is a good end for his arc too. I think a good
home.
spot to end. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And she was like very motherly for him, like in the whole Rebels cartoon too. So
in the same way that Morgan came here to save Thrawn and was left behind.
Yeah.
So is Ahsoka.
Yes.
And Sabine, who had come here to save Ezra.
Yes.
And now they've swapped places.
Yeah, swapsies.
Right.
But Yeah, so the Night Sisters get back with Thrawn to Dathomir as well. Kind of see Dathomir and
Yep.
as the Chimera is pulling up, which I thought was a nice scene, and I'm excited to see live action Dathomir even. I think it'll be really cool if we like.
I'm excited to see a movie where Thrawn is the villain.
Yeah, and that could be that Mando movie.
Yeah.
Right? Not much to say about Shin Hati either, so we'll just get that over
Yeah,
with.
so Shin Hati meets up with those native
I don't know, just keep
warriors.
calling
I'm
them the
not sure what to
bandits
call
or
them,
something. Nomadic bandits.
right?
I don't know.
And she kind of raises her saber as to say, "I am your new leader."
Yeah, well, they kind of followed them already, so she's just kind of going back to
Yeah.
that
So I think
space.
she's kind of found her place in that,
Sure, yeah.
right?
Weird ending.
Somewhat.
Like weird.
Yeah.
This is the point. Like
Where it
these
kind of started
kind
to
of
lose
things
you.
where I was just like,
Now, was it her point or was it Balin's?
his too.
'Cause
His is cool and
I
like it
thought
has a lot of
Balin's ending was
significance.
cooler.
It was cooler than it was probably one of the cooler endings of the endings that we get, but still
It was cool. He's standing on the arm of the father.
Papa.
Papa. There's the father.
Yes.
The son is there,
Yes.
and then obviously the sister
Yes. And I thought it was interesting that Sisters
kind of crumbled.
is the crumbled one, which was interesting because we also get to see Mirai, the owl thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, and there's like a part where it's crumbled where there's
Yeah.
some separation between the other two
yeah.
in the mountain there. So
And
and
he's
then-
pointing, the father's
Yeah.
pointing to somewhere, and that's
looking
kind
at
of
this, whether it's some sort of a beacon
something's going on.
or
there.
like there's something going on there, and we'll get to see that eventually, I'm assuming, but unfortunately it won't be with the actor
right.
because he's passed now.
Mhm.
I'm thinking maybe some sort of an animated show where that it happens.
Potentially.
You know,
Like it
that
could
that
happen.
would work,
Yeah.
right? And then we'll talk briefly about Ahsoka and Sabine.
Yeah. Because again, not a lot of an ending there again.
They
It
go
was
back
all
to-
very just
They go back to the Naughties,
yes, which was
Alright.
interesting
which
choice.
they're quite happy to see
Yeah.
see them. It's like, oh, guess what? We didn't lose our protectors,
Yay.
right?
Now there's two instead
Yeah.
of one.
They're kind of just accepting that that's where they need to be.
Which is a weird statement too. Like she's just like, "Oh, it's time to move on." Well, you just lost your whole fucking galaxy.
Yeah.
So it's time to move on. Like it's a weird line.
The interesting thing is that Sabine senses
Something.
something.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what to think of it, right? But I'm pretty sure Ahsoka feels it, understands it.
And like they haven't received that kind of training where they can see and speak with Force ghosts too, right? Because that was kind of one of those things that got passed on to Obi-Wan and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
although I'm not sure how Anakin managed it anyway. I guess in Force Ghost world he was taught.
Yeah. But that it does end off with Anakin being shown as a Force ghost.
Yeah.
Kind of showing his acceptance of whatever, and
that was like I was gonna say, Ahsoka sees Morai, and that's a representation, which is what the connection that I was kind of trying to make around this daughter statue being crumbled, and we still get to see Morai, and Morai was kind of like either thought of as an extension of the daughter. So is she still kicking around?
Yeah.
Could be.
We'll
So
have
we're
to
gonna
find
get to
out.
see something
Alright.
going on.
Let's do a quick rating. Okay.
Sure.
Do a quick rating.
Where was I kicking? About a 9?
I think you were about a 9. I think I was 8.5 or a 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do
Knew we
you want
kept
me to
her
go?
around for something?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna
You dip, I dip,
Yeah.
we dip.
yeah, and I'm gonna go to an 8. Um, it was a solid episode. There was a lot of great points and some pieces that were built. The ending bits were not enough of an
An
ending,
ending,
right? Like I understand cliffhangers.
but did it leave you hanging too much? Like
No.
it's could have
This
been.
this could be the straight up end of the show. Like it could have been just, shut her down. We'll tell some Thrawn story in another piece of the this New Republic kind of universe, and Ahsoka and Sabine never come back, and we're done.
It's kind of weird.
It was weird. It felt awkward. And Shin Hati, like so many hopes for her, and there was so much
Whether
they
she
were building
like,
around her and Balin and hers like kind of ending didn't
I
feel.
feel like Balin's ending was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Kind of kept you guessing a little bit. Hottie, you expected some sort of like a transformation to a full Sith down the road or something.
Or even, kicking it with the Jedi or something
You know?
drastic. I needed something bigger.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Which is why I'm gonna bring it down to an 8 as well. Not so much of a drop as yours, but just enough to bring her down to a solid 16 in total.
Mm-hmm.
For basically the same reasons. I thought it was fine.
Mhm.
A lot of good moments as a whole.
Yep.
I would have liked it to be longer.
Yes.
I would have liked it to be.
Well, we got what, maybe 40 minutes after.
When I say longer, I mean like finale longer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We got like 40 minutes.
So, all in all, one of the lesser episodes.
Yeah.
I feel so. That's where we're gonna sit with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the end of that one.
Wow.
It was about as exciting as the actual ending.
Yeah.
So